I actually believe that everybody in this world should see this video, and today I'm gonna talk about a superbug that is causing so many symptoms, and it's gonna cause these symptoms even more severe in the future. And I don't see a way nowadays on how the population or how humans will stop that when we're doing the same thing over and over again. And I'm gonna explain exactly in that video why I think that and why I think it's getting even worse. And if you don't protect yourself naturally against that superbug, it can cause chronic symptoms for the rest of your life. And the superbug that I'm talking about is Streptococcus bacteria. Streptococcus bacteria, there are over 50 varieties of Streptococcus bacteria. First of all, that's important to understand. It's way more that they think out there. It's way more that medical research and science now they think that exists. It's over 50 varieties nowadays, and they're mutating constantly. And what a lot of people also don't know, and specifically doctors don't know, is that strep is causing a huge variety of symptoms. So first of all, I want to show you the symptoms, the main symptoms that are caused by Streptococcus bacteria. Okay, we have acne, big one, solely caused by strep bacteria. UTIs, which I'm gonna do an example about that in a second. Pneumonia, interstitial cystitis, chronic allergies and sinusitis. Yeah, sinusitis when you have clogged nose all the time, that's caused by Streptococcus. All kinds of allergies, hay fever, these kind of things, Streptococcus. SIBO, because the bacteria that is overgrowing in your gut, that's actually strep. Then we have otitis media, which are ear infections, strep, sties, PID, pelvic inflammatory disease, prostatitis, sore throat, headaches and migraines even. Specifically when you have sinusitis, you can also get headaches and migraines because of that. Even fatigue, confusion, bacterial vaginosis, yeah? That's actually also caused by strep. Yeast infections. A lot of people trying to get away from their candida, yeah? It's actually not the candida that's the problem, it's the strep. The bladder sensitivities, low-grade fevers can even be caused by strep. Yeah? These are all the symptoms and even more that are caused by strep. Okay? And how do we treat that in medicine nowadays? We throw antibiotics at you. That's what we're doing. And right now I want to show to you how we basically created that superbug, what's happening when you throw antibiotics at strep, and how we can catch strep. And yeah, that's what I want to show you in that video, because it's some crazy shit, to be honest. And it's absolutely insane what's going on right now, and it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse. So let me show you, let me switch that again. And let me show you an example of having strep bacteria in your bladder that is causing chronic UTIs and what's happening when you take antibiotics, okay? So let's say you have your bladder here, okay? And then you have your bacteria sitting there, yeah? Bacteria here and there, here and there. It's always like this a little bit. You have your bacteria, the strep bacteria in your bladder, okay? You go to your doctor because you have UTIs. You go to your doctor is prescribing you antibiotics. Of course, it's the only thing they can do. So you get your first round of antibiotics. What's happening when you get your first round of antibiotics? You kill off this bacteria, this bacteria, this bacteria. This one doesn't even care. Nothing is happening, okay? It doesn't even care. It even feeds on the antibiotic. This one gets injured. This one gets maimed. This one gets injured. This one gets maimed. What's happening then? You kill off a little bit, okay? Some of it doesn't even care, and some of them get injured or maimed. What's happening then is This one, where nothing basically happened and it just fed on the antibiotic. This one, oh, hold on, this is a little bit too big. Bacteria, it's a little bit. This one here got stronger, okay? The one that is maimed and injured, this one here, got injured, got also stronger. Then the one that got a little bit injured as well, survived it, got also stronger. What's happening then? And the ones that are maimed and injured now even are stronger than the one that didn't even care. So everything that you don't kill off immediately with the antibiotics, you know what's happening then? They get stronger, okay? Next time your immune system lowered, they replicate. You get more bugs, more buggies on the way, more bacteria. What's happening? You get your next round of antibiotics, okay? Antibiotics taken. Now it doesn't even work anymore. Your doctor gets pissed, you get pissed because nothing is helping anymore. What's happening then? What your doctor is doing, we try another variety of antibiotics. Another variety. So you get your next variety or your next antibiotic treatment. So now we are already in 3 antibiotic treatments. What is happening then? Same cycle over again. This one gets killed, this one gets killed, this one gets killed, this one gets maimed, injured, maimed, this one gets killed. Okay? So there's still antibiotics that are surviving. What's happening now? This one, the ones that got injured and that survived it, they now are more antibiotic resistant, and now they have information from the first antibiotic and they have information from the second antibiotic. Okay? And this cycle is repeating again. So you get some relief. And by the way, I forgot to draw the bladder again, but it doesn't really matter. You get some relief, and the same thing happens over again, happens again. Your immune system drops, and then what's happening? Let's put the bladder in here again. You have your bladder, you have your bacteria in here. They replicate again. Immune system drops, new bacteria is on the way. New bacteria. You go to your doctor again. What else? And what they say to you is, take the antibiotic that you took before, that recently helped a little bit, but you didn't kill off everything. And now you already have an antibiotic resistant strep. You take the next antibiotic. You get the next round. Okay. Cycle repeats. This one gets maimed, this one gets injured, killed off, injured. This one doesn't even care. This one doesn't even care. This one injured, this one killed, this one maimed. Okay? So some of them survive again, some of them don't even care. Some of them are maimed, and when they're maimed and when they're injured, they have information on how to survive. They don't want to die. These bugs, these pathogens, that bacterium doesn't want to die. And it fights against these antibiotics, and every time it survives, it gets stronger. Okay? So now you have this one again that survived. You have the other ones that were maimed, and they're still here. Okay? They're coming again. Another bladder. They're coming again. Immune system drops, and they replicate again. Immune system drops. Your immune system is not able to handle them. It survives basically the power of your immune system because your immune system is also low. It survives the antibiotics, and then it gets stronger and the antibiotics don't help anymore. Now this cycle is repeating 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times until the second antibiotic is not working anymore as well. So you take the next antibiotic, you get the next round, It doesn't do anything. Now we're at square one again. It doesn't do anything. What is happening now? The doctor is now prescribing another antibiotic. But now it's the super antibiotic. The one where you look at the side effects and you think like, I don't know, I'm probably gonna die if I take that. That antibiotic that you get now. Okay? So, again, I might take another pen because the other one is not good anymore. But what's happening is you have that issue. You have your bladder again. And by the way, it's the same thing that's happening with acne. It's the same thing that's happening with pneumonia. It's the same thing that's happening with allergies, okay? And you get your next UTI. They replicate again, the bacteria. You get them, immune system is not possible to handle them. Antibiotics didn't do anything. You try the round again that worked before. Now it's not working anymore, okay? The buggies, they don't care. They don't budge. They don't care anymore about the antibiotics. Now you're taking that super antibiotic, okay? You're taking that super antibiotic, one round, and you kill off this one, you kill off this one, you kill off this one. This one doesn't even care because it's so resistant, doesn't even care. This one gets injured, maimed, injured, maimed, injured. Now we're in trouble. Now we're in big trouble. Because now we have the situation that we created a superbug. Now we have the situation that we have an antibiotic resistant strep. And now if you continue doing that, kidney infections, it can go to the kidneys, blood in the stool, the worst UTIs, scar tissue in the bladder, horrible symptoms, horrible. And the only thing they can do is throw more antibiotics at you. And at some point, it's not gonna help. And now that patient, that example patient that I'm just talking about is a chef at a restaurant. And that chef at the restaurant is cutting his finger or her finger, putting a band-aid on. You have like black ghosts, you don't even see the blood. And that strep is in that blood. And then you go to that restaurant, you eat there, your food is infected or the strep is now in your food because the chef cut his finger, everything has to be fast. One drop of that blood is going into your food, or even not even a drop, just a little bit is going into your food because something is contaminated there. And now you get that antibiotic resistant strep from somebody else without you never ever taking antibiotics, but the information that this bacteria gathered over the rounds of the antibiotics is now in your system. You see what I'm saying there? That's insane. And you don't only get that in restaurants, can get that in restaurants. It doesn't mean every time you go into a restaurant you're gonna get a strep, okay? Is it possible? Yes. Doesn't mean it's all the time. On the other hand, shopping cart handles. There's everything on there. E. coli, MRSA, strep. There's everything under the sun on that shopping cart handle, okay? And you can get that strep there. You touch the shopping cart handle, you touch your eye, next day you get a sty in there. That's the Streptococcus bacteria. It goes into your system. Then it can cause the UTIs. And on top of that, most of that stuff is even starting in your childhood. Because in your childhood you got ear infections, you got strep throat, you took antibiotics for it, and that was already the first time where that strep was getting more antibiotic resistance, and then you're getting UTIs and acne 20 years later, or in puberty, where your immune system drops a little bit, and then the Streptococcus bacteria is causing the acne, and then you take more antibiotics, and then it's even getting worse. That's what's happening out there. And do you see that cycle, how this is getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse? until you know how to handle it naturally. There's nobody that's talking about golden seal instead of antibiotics, even though golden seal is much stronger than antibiotics in general. And none of these bugs are resistant against golden seal, for example, just if you think about it. And you might get a new partner, you never had a UTI in your life. Let's say you're a woman, you might get a new partner, you get that antibiotic resistant strep from your partner because you have intercourse, you share bodily fluids. Every time you kiss somebody, you share even if you share a glass with somebody in the disco. I would advise everybody to not share anything with anybody else, not even with your kids, okay? When I see parents kissing their kids, I'm like, I cringe, because basically you transfer your bugs to your kids, or you get the bugs from your kids as well. That's basically how it works. And it's crazy. And then there are people out there that say, yeah, you need to get exposed to these germs. You know, you have to strengthen your immune system. Every time you get that, it lowers your immune system. Say that to somebody that has their 10th UTI and the antibiotics don't work anymore. Did the bugs strengthen their immune system? Say that to somebody that has trigeminal neuralgia because they have herpes simplex 1 or herpes simplex 2 or the shingles virus. Tell that to somebody that has a cold sore virus or herpes outbreaks all the time. Is that strengthening their bodies? Every time you get hit by these bugs, you get your immune system lowered. That's actually what's going on there. That's really what's going on. And this is actually where you get these antibiotic resistant streps. And this is how they get even more antibiotic resistant. This is the insanity in our medical system. And you know, if you have one of these symptoms right here and they don't budge and you don't get better and you don't know what to do with it because the only thing they advise you to do is antibiotics and you're going to have these symptoms for the rest of your life, I highly recommend to book a free discovery call. And all that you need to do is to go to my website. The link is in the description, www.theobergmann.com. And on that website, you can book a free discovery call. We will call you for 10 to 50 minutes for free to figure out if and how I can help you in the first place. And then, if so, we will move on to a strategy call, 60 to 90 minutes. That's also for free. And then we will show you a strategic approach, what kind of foods you should avoid, what kind of supplements you can take, strategic approach on how you can get rid of that strep bacteria once and for all, that you don't need to take antibiotics for the rest of your life. Or even if you take them, then it's not getting better. And I would highly recommend you doing that because you saw what I just did here, what I just showed you. If you have these antibiotic resistant streps in your system and you're not getting rid of them naturally with antibiotics where this kind of stuff is not resistant against, which is only existing in nature, and nature is stronger than anything, then this is what's happening and the symptoms are getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. So I would highly recommend you book that call, book that free call on my website. Check out my website, link is in the description, www.theobergmann.com, and share that video with a friend. Everybody has to see that video because it's madness out there. It's a superbug that nobody even talks about. That's the next thing. So make sure to share that video and we see you in one of the next videos. Bye bye.